right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to an impromptu Harry Hiestand retiring from Notre Dame announces it 7 minutes before the Super Bowl kicks off. There's never a dull moment in Notre Dame land edition of the Always Irish Super Bowl Sunday halftime show. That's what I'm doing this show. It's unbelievable. It's never boring with Notre Dame. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on. That way you'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can give me a call in line. 312-900-8815. Tell Johnny all you heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire. Tune in daily for all your Notre Dame information in print. So, welcome in, everybody, for the 1,000th time on this show. I'm going to start with this. There's never a dull moment in Notre Dame land. It's always something. It's always something. There's always something. Things might die down for 2 days. It doesn't matter. Something else is coming. It's always something with Notre Dame, especially lately. Just think about it. And it's not small stuff. First BK, then Tommy, then literally 7 minutes before the Super Bowl kicks off, this innocuous tweet comes out that Harry's retiring as Notre Dame offensive line coach. It's just wild. And the timing of it is like Super Bowl news dump, literally 7 minutes before kick. It's wild. So, what are some of the reactions I have to this? Number one, terrific 38-year, fabulous coaching career, wonderful lineage and respect from the guys he's developed and what they've turned into the league. That's a legacy that cannot be tarnished or ever taken from him. Nick and Zach Martin, Q Nelson, who's just all world, all everything, all time. Bars, McGlinchey, Mustfors with the Bears, I believe, still Stanley, Cave. And I guess I'll mention Chris Watt last because I'm sure I'm listing him separate and last because I'm sure he's likely to get looked at for this job as he was a former Notre Dame offensive lineman under him and has been working under him, training under him lately. So I bring Chris Watt up for that reason next. So really great job creating that lineage. Here's the way I look at it. He has all those NFL legitimate skins on the wall, right? But he's not the most natural electric recruiter. Some of that's probably the personality most offensive line coaches have. Not a lot of small talk going on. You know what I mean? Like the down to business, let's hit somebody. But not the most energetic electric recruiter at Notre Dame. But he's got NFL skins on the wall, and that sells and it sold. And I understand why it sells and it sold. So that ended up working. So, you know, that's number one. Terrific, beautiful 38-year career, highly respected as one of the top guys in his industry all time. Fabulous. Great job. That's a hell of a career. Great job by him. So that's number one reaction. Number two is timing. You know, you're looking at this and the timing of it. Does it have to do with Tommy leaving? I don't know. Did Harry coming back have to do with Kelly leaving? Yeah, it did, actually. It certainly did, which is completely understandable, especially to me, for obvious reasons you've known and listened to on this program and the issues I have with Mr. Kelly. Not results-based, effort-based, and the way you treat people-based. Those are different things. I don't want to get into that right now. But does it have to do with Tommy leaving? I don't know. Does this have to do with the new offensive coordinator? Harry doesn't want to wait around, see what that guy wants to do? Or does that new guy have the autonomy to bring in his own guy? That's the other thing. People assuming this is just Chris Watt's job now. What if the new offense coordinator decides he doesn't want Chris Watt and he wants a guy he knows, not this stranger who went to Notre Dame? I don't know how that goes. I don't know the autonomy the new offensive coordinator is going to have. I don't know. So does it have to do with what that guy wants to do or not wanting to wait to see what that guy wants to do? That guy hasn't been officially named yet, by the way. That's kind of an important detail. Tommy leaving, genuine family decision, or a blend? Could be a blend of all of it. Who knows? Could be a blend of all of it. Doesn't have to just be one or the other. Could very well be a legitimate blend. Here's number 3 reaction. Freeman's got yet another huge hire on his hands. He just absolutely has to get it right to pair up with the modern offense we're going to try and run in the new playoff era. Sorry, no pressure, right? Like, no pressure. But this is another hire you can't mess up. All the modernization in the offense you want to do is great as long as you can block it up. So I'm just noting it's another huge hire for Marcus. He's got to get it right. Now, here's number 4. Number 4 is where I'm likely to catch some heat from some Notre Dame people, and I'm totally fine with it. This, to me, is the vein I'm going to go down next is very similar to some of, not all, of the Tommy discussions we've been having the last couple of weeks. Nobody can deny the NFL skins on the wall that Harry Hiestand has developed. Legitimate draft picks, NFL talent, and some generational, like all-time. Q Nelson might go down as an all-time, like one of the best that's ever done this. All right? And Harry's always going to be deserved to be linked to these guys and their accomplishments, 100%. That being said, I'm not going to allow Notre Dame fans to cry about this and say that Harry is the best by far of all time. He's the best everything, without pointing out that even in the midst of all of Harry's greatness and this lineage we've spoken about, there's always and was always the issue of no showing in big moments and some moments that weren't supposed to be big that ended up being bigger than they should have been by O-line U getting pushed around. And I did not appreciate it. Okay? I did not appreciate it. And it's just only fair to bring this up because I've already seen the tweets during the Super Bowl, right when this broke. Best to ever do it. No, Notre Dame will never recover. I've seen all that already. As good as the guy's lineage is, there was always at least one of the biggest moments, and every year he was coaching O-line here, where the O-line didn't do their job in the biggest of moments. And I'm not trying to crap on the guy, but I'm also looking at this fairly from every angle, just like I tried to do with Tommy. 2022, USC, your biggest hated rival, trying to win the game, deny that kid the Heisman, 90 rushing yards. Awesome. 90 against your hated rival, their quarterback trying to showboat you and 90 yards. And I know I'm bringing up the quarterback. And it's like you're talking about offensive line. What does their quarterback have to do with it? I'm talking about just the motivation the entire team should add to not lose to them. You came up with 90 yards. Awesome. Good job, dude. Ohio State, 76 yards. Awesome. World-beating stuff. Okay? Very frustrating. Then we have the period where he was gone and then with the Bears. So let's go back to 2017. Georgia, biggest game of the year by far, 55 rushing yards. 2016, forget about it. Burn that entire year. Act like it never happened. It was that bad. And everybody, let's just forget about even talking about that. It's not even worth bringing up an individual game to bitch about. 2015, Clemson, barely over 100 yards in that loss. 2014, barely over 100 against USC and a 4-game losing streak. 2013, early in the year, Michigan loss under 100 yards. 2012, Bama, the embarrassment of all embarrassments, 32 yards rushing. Okay? And I want to report, in, during, and after every single one of these times, O-line you, the toughest of the tough, wasn't tough. Here was my response every time. Harry, don't do this to me, Harry. every time. I can't. Harry, don't do this to me, Harry. That was my response every single time the offensive line didn't do their job. So I'm just saying, all of these failures occurred in gotta-have-it games that either set the tones for seasons or ended seasons, and they were nowhere close to being good enough in the biggest of the big moments. I cannot and I am not blaming Harry and the offensive lines for these losses and overall big picture failures. I fully recognize Brian Kelly was involved. All right? So trust me, I recognize it wasn't just an offensive line issue in these moments. I am just saying to Notre Dame people, I can't act like this is the end of the whole entire world. I admit, comparing this to the Reese dynamic, this guy's got way more elite level verifiable credit skins on the wall than Tommy has, just off the NFL guys and how good they are in the NFL, right? And so I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying that if we're looking at this overall, yeah, I went over all the great things and all the great guys. There was still at least one offensive line total failure meltdown in big moments in every single year this guy was here. Now, that has always bothered me. The O-line, you were tough thing, but then against your biggest rival, you rush it for 90 yards. To me, that's very insulting. You don't get to call yourself O-line you, and then against your biggest rival, rush it for 90. You don't get to call yourself O-line you and put up 50 double nickels against Georgia. All right? So that has always bothered me, that there was one of these meltdowns in the biggest moments. But I realize there's a lot of reasons for those systemic failures overall, and I'm oversimplifying it. I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. It's just not the end of the world. Embrace new. And I know that's hard for us, especially a guy like me that is a traditional Notre Dame guy in a traditional list and a lover of Notre Dame history and the way we've done things. Change is awkward. Change is hard. Notre Dame fans, we got to just embrace the new. That's what Notre Dame is now. And remember, I'm going to finish on this. The old way didn't get us over the top. Remember that. The old way was pretty good. Kelly did some good things, got us to a certain level. But remember, if you feel uncomfortable about these changes that are going on that you're seeing with Tommy, with Harry, whatever, ultimately remember that all these changes are kind of everything's in motion here because the old way didn't work enough. Because the old way didn't work enough is why all this stuff's happening. That's why Kelly's gone, Freeman's here, and all these dominoes are falling. Okay? So, yeah, there's some uncertainty and uncomfortable and all that, but that's change. This Notre Dame program's changing fast, and we just need to kind of roll with it. So, totally commend Harry on a beautiful, fabulous career. I can't imagine how great it's got to be for him to sit there with a beer on a Sunday and just watch his guys dominate the NFL. Like, he deserves a ton of credit. I am not going to act like this is a guy's funeral where all you could say is good things. How many times you see celebrities or other people die, you know, they're jerks, but then they die and everybody just has nice things to say about it. But you know what about the bad stuff too? It's not like the guy died and I'm only allowed to bring out the good things or I'm a jerk, right? So I just want to bring up a reminder. There was a major offensive line meltdown failure, and every single year he was here, and it's bothered me forever. It's bothered me forever. Some of the biggest moments where we needed them, And they were a strong part of all of these teams, couldn't get it done. So I don't know what to make of it other than new. Notre Dame is new, and that is odd. And so we're going to cover this in more detail. And I think I missed the halftime show. I think I'm fine with that. I don't know. We'll go see what I missed. Have a good one. Let me know what you think.